Good morning, everyone. This is David Rott with General Manager of Tessman Company. Thank you for joining us. Today, we welcome John JT Turner from Aquatrols to talk about how utilizing several of their products can help eliminate localized dry spots and irrigation inefficiencies. If you have any questions during the webinar, please type them in the Q&A box, and we will answer them at the end of our webinar. JT is the Aquatrols Territory Manager for Illinois, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Iowa, Nebraska, and the Dakotas. He graduated from Purdue University with a Bachelor of Science degree in agronomy and has over 36 years of experience within the green specialty business with Bayer and 2 seasons as a Midwest distributor represented with ATS. Turner has been active with many turf grasses associations and recently served as the president of the Midwest Regional Turf Foundation and the Illinois Turf Foundation. JT, take it away.
Thank you, Dave. It's a pleasure to be on the webinar and hopefully our first in a series of webinars hosted by Aquatrols. What I'd like to do today is take a few minutes to review some of the products that's been available to our turf managers for a number of years and to share with you of how these products can help improve some water efficiencies, possibly localized dry spot, and also share with you some of our 3 pillars.
JT, can you speak closer to the microphone? We're having trouble trying to hear you.
Sure. How's that, Dave?
A little bit better.
Okay, great. Testing 1, 2, 3. Better, Dave?
Still not loud enough.
Still not loud enough. I don't know what happened.
Testing. 1, 2, 3.
That's better. That's
better.
Okay,
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Anyway, I'm John Turner, JT, and I want to just touch base today on several products that Aquatrols has been discussing and launching over the last number of years and share with some of these efficiencies of how a turf manager can use them on tees, greens, and fairways, and possibly walk away with some new ideas of how that might improve your playability as well as plant health. And we'll talk about 3 pillars of what Aquatrols is looking to do in the near future. And those 3 pillars are active ingredient distribution, nutritional conservation, as well as water conservation. So let's proceed forward. When you look at the turf market, there's a decision to be applied on various surfactants being used. One needs to look at optimizing soil-plant water interactions, looking at managing plant stresses, input efficiencies, looking at using water in less and less usage throughout the country, and at the same time to increase irrigation efficiencies, whether it's being city water or from deep wells. At the bottom line, we want to improve both soil and water quality for the golf course superintendent. What are some of the basic fundamentals of ours water basics? First of all, we want to rectify any possible moisture issues and have a better understanding on how to measure those issues or measure those moisture.
JT, there's a few viewers are still having difficult hearing. Make sure the microphone's not covered up or anything. Something weird happened.
Yeah, I've got the microphone full up there, Dave.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm up at 100%. Okay, let me continue forward here. If we take a look at some general makeups of what the soil consists of, we see that there's air, water, minerals, organic matter, humus, roots, and microorganisms. Aquatrol likes to address several of these, which is specific to air and water, and as we improve that, we increase the water moisture levels throughout the soil profile. Let's take a look at some of the sources of hydrophobic materials on the plant. At the surface, waxes are built up through growing tissue, and then they fall off to incorporate into the thatch. These waxy issues then decompose. The roots also produce exudates, which cause hydrophobicity. And then at the same time, any type of pathogens in the soil or in the roots start to break down, which also reduces water moisture throughout the profile. So those conditions can occur at the surface as well as in the soil. And if you feel you've got soil conditions that are hydrophobic, take a soil probe and go down several inches and pull that out. And then just take several drops of water across that soil probe and to see if you're getting beads of water. Aquatrols provides a list of many products that can improve that, as well as being a hydrator or a penetrator, or possibly a hybrid of both. The idea is to improve the matrix flow so that when you're watering the turf area, you're getting a better consistency across the horizontal surface versus a fingered flow. And think of this, if you're applying any type of inputs, whether it be foliar, insecticides, herbicides, and if the active ingredient isn't moving down to the profile, then there could be a possibility of performance inefficiencies where products that are used on the golf course, like Aquatrols Revolution, Dispatch, and or Aqueduct Flex, can help improve that matrix flow. The idea is to have consistency versus inconsistency throughout the soil profile. Let's take a look at the profile overview of what Aquatrols has as tools for the golf course superintendent. Revolution, it's the best in class and also provides a very key component to ratio between water and soil management. At that same point, Aquatrols that launched Revolution has seen a worldwide attention to applications during many tournament playing conditions, from PGA to various other golf course activities like the Ryder Cup. At the same time, it provides very effective plant health benefits, and we'll discuss that over the next few slides. Dispatch is a product that improves infiltration and penetration for both water and any type of irrigation rainfall. It improves the inputs of herbicides, fungicides, as well as insecticides, and as far as providing water efficiencies to reduce and provide savings. Think of this, if you're on a golf course and you're using city water, how important would that be to use a component such as Dispatch to reduce the irrigation costs on your golf course or sports fields? The other product that we have in our portfolio is Aqueduct Flex. Aqueduct Flex was launched last year, and it's a dispersible granule of about an SGA or SGA of 120 to 150. At the same time, it prevents localized dry spots, and has also the component of having an improved bag for resealing and closing so that no moisture can get into that. For many years, Aqueduct has been around producing localized dry spot curative treatment, and at the same time improves any type of impact from fairy ring. And we'll discuss that later here in the next few minutes. Is there any questions at this time that I might want to address or you might have as an audience?
No, not at this time.
In the last year, Aquatrols has actually become a new company in the marketplace through new plant production to staffing to efficiencies. We've actually redesigned our packaging to have a blue and white box. So as you purchase the products for your golf course, at the same time of taking inventory, it's easy to recognize the blue and white box that has Aquatrols names on it. So let's take a look at Revolution. Revolution is a product in the 2.5 by 5 or 2.5 by 2 gallon container, as well as in 30-gallon totes. But at the same time, some of its attributes is to provide better moisture through both vertical and horizontal distribution. It provides a very key point as far as water to soil balances for optimal growth. Some of the key components like summer stresses throughout the June, July, August, from drought to mowing to factors that are uncontrollable or controllable, Aquatrols can provide a better playing and firmness to the golf course. And at the same time, it's going to improve better nutrient efficiencies throughout the year. The whole idea is about plant health care, from enhancement to photosynthesis, chlorophyll levels are increasing, better rooting, carbon fixation or sequestration, and at the same time, disease management and prevention, as well as improved turf quality. So the idea is to best utilize a water management program with Revolution. Again, as I mentioned, it prevents localized dry spots and produces hand watering. Many times I've talked to customers out in the field, they say, we love Revolution, but we can't be afraid not to water it in. So the idea is to at least water that in after application for about 10 minutes to get 1/10 of an inch of moisture into the soil profile, and then go out and do 3 applications after that to move the Revolution down to the soil profile. The other key component to Revolution is it's very tank mix friendly, but at the same time, you want to probably avoid using the active ingredients iprodione or propiconazole. So those are the 2 to be more concerned about as far as a tank mix in your tank. Some of the data, let's take a look at the vertical and horizontal. If you take a look at Revolution, it's applied 6 ounces monthly versus a product that's more of a cold block or straight block. You can see that during the periods of June through October, that the blue line is Revolution, showing a much more repellency versus the control or the competitive product. So what does that mean? It means that Revolution provides firmer, dry surfaces. At the same time, it provides a quick dry down if you're in tournament conditions. If we look at the ET replacement versus the treated and untreated, Revolution continues to show a very significant improvement in water ET replacement. That's important for any type of member gas or tournament conditions that the golf superintendent's looking at. Taking a look at what's improvement as far as chlorophyll in bentgrass, some of the work that's been done previously through the Chicago District Golf Association shows the amount of chlorophyll improvement after applications of Revolution. Other components about Revolution is the use of the product to reduce any type of antioxidants, which more or less antioxidants are compounds that cause cell damage. So think of this, that as you're applying Revolution for improved water management, you're getting better rooting, better chlorophyll, at the same time reducing any type of enzymes that can cause plant distress. So over the course of time, Revolution can be a very good key component to water management. And Dr. Irvin down at Virginia Tech pretty much sums it up saying that we've tested this and Revolution delivers a greater moisturability in drought conditions, at the same time improving photosynthesis and better root conditions during the summer. So as you have any type of recovery, Revolution can be an excellent tool during the whole season. Many golf courses that I've called on share with me about the use of PGR applications. They're becoming more of a tool out there with many golf course superintendents with bentgrass, bent POA, and the use of Revolution can actually improve the performance of any type of PGR. The data here from Purdue University shows that the turf quality was improved with Revolution using it 6 ounces every 30 days. And this is with proxy applications as well. If we look at the quality of the turf plots through Dr. Cale Bigelow down at Purdue from last year, we're taking a look at Revolution over the course of the summer from May through August with observations every 2 weeks. At the same time, between some of the competition and control, the quality was very much in the positive directions with the Revolution. Over the course of the last number of years, many golf course superintendents are seeing a lot more fairy ring on their golf courses. And there are many fungicides that are being used to control fairy ring from prevention to curative. But think in terms of past history of your golf course greens or your aprons or maybe out on fairways, that you want to reduce the amount of fairy ring that could be possibly detrimental, that the applications from products that have been used in the past through Dr. Martin at Clemson indicates that applications with Revolution after 2 applications with Insignia to Heritage to Flutalonyl ProStar shows a markedly decrease in symptom activity. Up in Hazeltine, before they had the Ryder Cup, Chris Trenabar was actually very effective using various applications of Revolution on his fairways. He experienced a lot of rain prior to the tournament, and at the same time went on and tried to use applied Revolution on his fairways. This was back in 2016. Several weeks later, prior to the tournament, He actually showcased his fairway saying he had used Revolution wall-to-wall for the tournament. So he's been very predominant spokesperson for the use of Revolution on his tees, greens, and fairways. And when asked about his applications, he indicated that, hey, through a question and answer session on Twitter, he shared with many people, turf managers, indicating that he was using 6 ounces every 4 weeks on tees and fairways with the same product used on greens every 2 weeks. That helped him out a lot. Thank you, Chris, for helping us and sharing that information. So when we finish up the thoughts as far as Revolution as a tool for more than just a surfactant, the value is that it provides better, firmer surfaces, reduces localized dry, better turf quality ratings from various university trials like the Chicago District or Purdue. Therefore, it makes it drier in wet conditions and wetter in dry conditions. And at the same time, if any type of stresses occur, it boasts various antioxidants for plant health. And at the same time, it can be used on tees, greens, and fairways, whether it be bent grass, bent blue, bent poa, rye bluegrass. So in summary, Revolution can be used at 6 ounces every 30 days. I've had folks say they've used it 3 ounces every 2 weeks. And the best thought behind that is to water in at least a third of an inch of water after applications. And again, earlier in my slides, I mentioned if you can water 10 minutes, that's specifically about 1/10 of an inch of rain amount, and do that 3 times before the end of the next day. Any questions? Okay, moving to dispatch. Aquatrols has 2 formulations, both a sprayable and an injectable. And with that, it's a synergistic blend of 2 products in the container that provides improvement for water penetration as well as availability to the root zone. So at the same time, using dispatch, it's an economical surfactant that can improve your nitrogen efficiencies, improve insecticide prevention applications, as well as pre-emergent activity. Let's take a look at the next few slides, which demonstrates that. Some of the work that was done at The Ohio State University went out on their turf plots and had a 4% slope to measure the amount of what's called tipping before it went into a collection area, and they measured the volumetric water event. So here at the turf plots, they show the surface where water was applied, and then they were measuring the amount of active ingredient that was going through the channels, and then measuring the amount of water that was discharged through the drainage tile. They found that water was actually reduced, and the evaporation was actually improved. At the same time, it helped improve better performance and efficacy on the turf. So think in terms of foliar or nitrogen applications. If you're using a product like Dispatch on a 2-week basis or 3 weeks, it may be 1/4 ounce 1,000 to up to 16 ounces or 0.3 per 1,000. If you can improve your nitrogen application through leaf absorption as well as retention, Dispatch can be a part of that tool. And this was done through University of Virginia Tech. My favorite here is if you're using a pre-emerge, many times pre-emergence work, and with today's weather patterns that we're seeing with high amounts of rain, surfactants such as Aquatrols can help improve that penetration for better matrix flow and provide better input to the herbicide for pre-emerge for crabgrass, and thus reduce any type of post-applications later in the summer. So this is some applications that were studied from Dr. Mike Verdanza, who's the father of Fair Ring, to show that the importance of Dispatch provided excellent control for pre-emerge applications from early application in July to observation in August. Think in terms of your preventive grub control. Many of the new compounds today are 1 applications between May and June to control various grub complexes. So applying Dispatch at low rates from like 12 ounces per acre up to 16, you can control your insects and improve the positioning of the active ingredient in the soil surface. So think of that as we're coming into the next 30 days to 45 days. the dispatch in the application can provide that importance in grub control prevention. And at the same time, any type of surface feeders that are coming about, dispatch can also provide that same type of performance. So we look at the application rates. It's fairly simple, from 12 to 24 ounces per acre on a weekly basis. And at the same time, you can go 8 ounces earlier or shorter than the 12. Let's take a look at Aqueduct Flex. Aqueduct Flex became available last summer or last year in a granular formulation. And at the same time, it works very well as far as applying it to the turf area with very little irrigation required. In fact, I've had customers in the last year who've applied it on bentgrass tees or greens. And as soon as the product hits the turf surface, it very quickly dissolves. So it's a very effective dissolvable granule. Weight, it's very simple. It's a pound per 1,000, 44 pounds per acre, and the bag is a poly plastic resealable bag that holds 44 pounds. So if we look at treatment, it can be used for feeding it or applying it to hot spots on greens or collars or some knobs on fairways. You can use a drop spreader or a rotary, and then apply the product on as needed. And it also can be used at various flexible rates, from a pound per 1,000 on a monthly basis up to a curative at 2.5 pounds per 1,000 on a weekly basis. So from spring fall irrigation to any type of wear pattern that shows stresses along collars or out in front of the fairways, Aqueduct Flex can be a very simple tool to be used out on the golf course. Some of my customers have come back and said that they found better applications, not so much on bentgrass greens and tees and fairways, but when they're doing some sod replacement, they've used Aqueduct Flex on the soil, going at about a pound to pound and a half per 1,000 on the soil and applying the sod. It helps knit the sod quicker and has the chance to hold more moisture during that growing process. Other applications can be ornamental flowers, as well as maybe around trees and shrubs in front of high visible areas of the golf course. We continue with Aqueduct Sprayable for those that may want to just get more of a quick application on their greens, tees, or fairways. It's been the standardized product for localized dry spots as a curative. You have both a hydrator and a penetrator in the Aqueduct active ingredient, and it can provide better use of water to the problem areas and reduces any type of wilt during summer stress. University of Florida showed a localized dry spot, and you can see where the blue line is Aqueduct at 8 ounces per 1,000 on a weekly basis versus the controls. So the application provided excellent reduction in localized dry spot symptoms, as well as turf recovery, where you're seeing the turf quality was substantially increasing over the course of time. So in conclusion, the Aqueduct improved the turf quality and it reduced any type of localized dry spots. And after several weeks of application, they had less than 10% left over on the fairways or in the turf plots. So areas application can be in landscape usage, sports turf, fairways, and for any type of stresses that show up on the summer or on the turf. The rates are simply an 8-ounce application of water every couple of weeks until the conditions are reduced, and it can be used on all type of turf conditions. And you should water it in within the next day before you mow your turf grass the next day. Wrapping up here, some of the things that are happening within Aquatrols is that we've actually acquired some property outside our plant up in the Philadelphia area. We've got possibly over 10 acres of cool season and warm season grasses. So we're going to be doing a lot of field work at our own property, as well as contracting it out across the universities. So if we take a look at the various plots, we've got a blue rye, a fescue, some Bermuda and bentgrass, and as far as any type of other future tests with ornamentals or some agricultural areas for specialty crops. So as I started earlier, that our portfolio products are in 3 type of pillars. One is called the active ingredient redistribution and retention. We want to make sure the plant is getting the proper moisture and at the same time giving better playability. We have nutritional conservation, where we're actually replacing any type of nutrients or allowing the surfactants being more efficient, and at the same time giving the plant better health care and playability. And as far as water conservation, we want to make sure we use water to the most best resource out there so we can maintain proper plant health. And in conclusion, Aquatrols is working and launching a promotion with the next 30 to 45 days, so that any type of purchases that occur, one can then enroll in our Approach app to select various products that qualify for the Yeti Tundra or the Yeti Rhodey or the Coaster. So at this time, you can get a hold of your Tessman sales rep in Minnesota, Nebraska, and North and South Dakota, and take a look what your in-season needs might be. And for doing that, we recognize your purchases, and at the same time, we'll offer a Tundra, a Rhodey, or a Coaster. At this time, I'd like to say thank you very much to our friends at Tessman Seed and to Dave and Lauren for setting up this webinar. If there's any questions, please reach out to our Tessman Seed reps, and they'll be able to help you, and they can respond back to me. And with that, my email address is jturner@aquatrols.com, and I'd like to say thanks again to everybody who's participated and listened to our program. Thanks again, Dave.
Thank you, JT. I did have one question if you have some time.
Yes, sir.
If my greens are wet from rainfall, do I need to apply a surfactant? And if so, how will that help me?
Yeah. What I would do, if you have water already at saturation, you want to move that. Sometimes you want to be ahead of all that soil moisture. So the product of choice would be one that I didn't discuss this morning. It'd be what's called 1690. That's a full penetrant. And you'd want to use that at the application now to move that water farther down and move that quickly out of the top several inches.
Okay, thank you again. We appreciate your time this morning, JT. And just a reminder, if you want to use this as a reference, it will be uploaded to our YouTube channel. Just search for Tessman Company on YouTube. Have a great day.